even in the early days, if you set a computer on every desk in every home, and you'd say, okay, how many homes are there in the world? How many desks are there in the world? You know, can I make $20 for every home, $20 for every desk? You know, you could get these big numbers. But part of the beauty of the whole thing was we were very focused on the here and now. Should we hire one more person? If our customers didn't pay us, would we have enough cash to meet the payroll? You know, we really were very practical about that next thing, and so involved in the deep engineering that we didn't get ahead of ourselves. We never thought, you know, how big we'd be. I remember when one of the early lists of wealthy people came out, and one of the Intel founders was there. The guy who ran Wing Computers actually was still, Wang was still doing well. And we thought, boy, if the software business does well, the value of Microsoft could be similar to that. But it wasn't a real focus. The everyday activity of just doing great software drew us in. And some decisions we made, like the quality of the people, the way we were very global, the vision of how we thought about software, that was very long term. But, you know, other than those things, you know, we just came into work every day and wrote more code and, you know, hired more people. And it wasn't really until the IBM PC succeeded, and perhaps even until Windows succeeded, that there was a broad awareness that Microsoft was very unique as a software company, that these other companies had been one-product companies, hadn't hired people, couldn't do a broad set of things, didn't renew their excellence, didn't do research. So, you know, we thought we were doing something very unique, but it was easily not until 1995 or even 1997 that there was this wide recognition that we were the company that had revolutionized software.
Gates started Microsoft with his high school friend Paul Allen when Gates was still in his teens. Their investment, $1,500. Today, Microsoft's annual sales exceed $14 billion. It is the world's leading developer of software for the personal computer. And Gates is the PC's globe-trotting evangelist, celebrating its many benefits.
The key point there is you've got to enjoy what you do every day. And for me, that's working with very smart people. It's working on new problems.
One of my biggest memories of Harvard came in January 1975. I worked day and night on the extra credit project that marked the end of my college education and the beginning of a remarkable journey with Microsoft.
If you find an idea that requires 3 or 4 years of improvement and patience and really sticking with it, that we're very good at that. Take Windows, which we bet our company on. You can't just keep doing the same old thing you were doing before. You have to take your skills and attack the new frontiers. My best business decisions really have to do with picking people. And having somebody who you totally trust, who's totally committed, who shares your vision and yet has a little bit different set of skills, and also acts as a check on you. You know, some of the ideas you come up with, you run by them because you know they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, you know, have you thought about this and that? And just, you know, the benefit of sparking off of somebody who's got that kind of brilliance, it's not only made it fun, but it's really led to a lot of success. So picking a partner is crucial.
Success has made Bill Gates the world's wealthiest and perhaps most famous entrepreneur.
Yeah, it was fun when we got to know each other. We would be traveling around Lagos, where the traffic gives you lots of time to sit and talk sometimes. And, you know, I'd be showing Aliko my charts about, hey, Sokoto has a pretty low vaccination rate, you know, and Kano needs to do this. And Aliko, he really knows people. He has relationships. He's willing to reach out to people. So he'd say, hey, let's call the governor, you know, and we'll talk to him about this. And sure enough, you know, next thing you know, we've got the governor of Sokoto on the phone. We're talking about this. And so this ability now to reach out, to draw on the the broad relationships that Alico's developed. And, you know, I'm pretty shy about calling people. I just want to mail them my chart. But in fact, what's come out of that is that Alico and I do video conference calls with 6 of the governors in the northern states, where twice a year we look at vaccine coverage. You know, is the supply chain working? Are the workers showing up? Are the healthcare posts in the right locations? And it's a big challenge, but really drawing on Alico's communication skills and the fact that he's not afraid to call anyone. Everyone he wants to talk to him. It's been phenomenal.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wasn't this amazing? Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
But, you know, I had a set of skills that were highly employable. And in fact, my parents were still willing to let me go back to Harvard and finish my education if I wanted to. And so then I got this incredibly conservative approach that I wanted to have enough money in the bank to pay a year's worth of payroll, even if we didn't get any payments coming in.
One of my biggest memories of Harvard came in January 1975, when I made a call from Courier House to a company in Albuquerque, New Mexico, that had begun making the world's first personal computer. I offered to sell them software. I worried they would realize I was just a student in a dorm and hang up on me. Instead, they said, "We're not quite ready. Come see us in a month," which was a good thing because we hadn't written the software yet. From that moment, I worked day and night on the extra credit project that marked the end of my college education and the beginning of a remarkable journey with Microsoft.
If you're going to start a company, it takes so much energy that it better overcome your feeling of risk. I don't think that you necessarily, if you're going to start a company, you should do it at the start of your career. I think there's a lot to be said for working for a company, learning how they do things. When people are first skeptical and they know this kid doesn't know anything, then when you show them you've really got a good product and you know something, they actually tend to go overboard and they think, whoa, they know a lot. Let's really do an incredible amount with these people. So our youth, at least in this country, was a huge asset for us once we reached a certain threshold. Those problems that come to starting the firm, you better think of those as part of the pleasure, part of the challenge that is part of the excitement. You can't just keep doing the same old thing you were doing before. You have to take your skills and attack new frontiers. In the business of technology, you have to think about what are you missing? What is the research or customer feedback that you should be paying more attention to? How do you keep that pace of innovation very, very high? How do you make sure you're hiring the very best people? And that kind of focus has helped drive us forward through all the milestones the company has had. You've got to enjoy what you do every day. And for me, that's working with very smart people. It's working on new problems. Every time we think, hey, we've had a little bit of success, we're pretty careful not to dwell on it too much because the bar gets raised. People's expectations of the products, we've always got customer feedback telling us that machines are too complicated, they're not natural enough. About 25% of the time that I'm out traveling around meeting with customers, Europe, Asia, and that sort of helps me think, okay, do we have the right priorities? What are people responding well to, and what would they like to see us do better? The competition, the breakthroughs, the research, but the computer industry, in particular software, I think is the most exciting, and I think I have the best job in that business. You all have a chance to innovate. If you're thinking about your innovation, of course, you should go after any market you think is interested in, but a little bit you can also think, okay, does this innovation apply to those most in need? What are you going to do to make it cheap enough, simple enough, figure out how to get it so it really, if possible, can extend out to the poorest. You know, I wish I had learned more about that at a young age, and so you have an opportunity to do that.